What's one piece of advice that you would have given your younger self?
Damn. I'm dead. You're doing your best.
Hello everyone, welcome to the Lowdown with D-Lo. No, I really hated that. We take it. What's up everybody? It's your girl D-Lo. It's your girl D-Lo. No. Go, YouTube, Y-O-U-T-U. I was a cheerleader in high school. Was not good. Welcome to the Lowdown with D-Lo Season 2 with yours truly, Jalapa Sangokoya. If you're watching this video, click that subscribe link. I am just so grateful with my previous partners before, but I am excited to be in YouTube land so I can interact and have longer conversations. I'm gonna be bringing episodes every Thursday. Be sure to tune in. It's gonna be lots of surprises. I don't know why I went creepy. So let's just talk about 2020. 2020 tried it. You, ma'am, Mrs. 2020, thank you. Now you're done. I think that's how we all feel about 2020. I actually came into 2021 hot. I was hosting a travel series for Marriott Bonvoy. Went to Hawaii, Mexico City, Nashville. I also had long blonde braids. Pop up a photo somewhere around here. Yup. She worked it. And then all of a sudden, everything just stopped. This corona just came. She came and she was taking wigs. She was taking edges. Why was COVID such a shock? We were really shocked. I was shook. People were like, 2020, clear vision. I have 2020 vision. And I saw how shit America is. We don't know how to handle a crisis. And it showed the gaping holes of our medical system. What was the clear vision for? Yeah. All right, I left my East Village apartment, washer and dryer unit. When you have a washer and dryer unit, you're balling. Okay, I was part of that. This is the longest I've lived at home since I was 17. After graduation, I honestly moved to New York within 2 weeks. And I've been in New York ever since. I've been in New York for 5 years. I don't know if you guys know this, I'm Nigerian American. My mom is a typical Nigerian American mom. You know, it's so funny when you've lived independently for 10 years, you think you're an adult, but no. As long as your parent is still alive, as long as she can breathe, you are a child. You are a child of God and you are her child. Freedom what? Yeah, I know my accent is bad. Don't judge. I really did check out for a little bit. So then, you know, we have COVID and then all of a sudden, George Floyd dies. George Floyd doesn't die. George Floyd was murdered on camera for the entire world to watch. So all of us who have been stuck in our homes were stuck to watch this. I can't afford to be silent in these moments because my life depends on it. The life of my brothers depends on it. The life of my family members depend on it. As much as I want to denounce 2020 altogether, something just hits different. I just know that I have a voice and I want to use it and I want to give a platform for others to speak. So I'm just so excited to be launching season 2 of The Lowdown with D-Lo. Trust and believe I'm going to be spilling piping hot jollof rice with a little bit of activism, a little bit of pop culture. Without further ado, let's introduce our first guest, Jordan Shanks. I call him a budding phenom. I don't even know if that's a word. He's an up-and-coming writer, filmmaker, photographer, and founder of Shanks Studio. He has an amazing film out here called Seven that is in the film circuit. It premiered at the Africana Independent Film Festival. So I am so excited for him to be here. He's worked at a number of leading media companies, including YouTube, Facebook, and Complex, just to name a few. Thank you so much, Jordan, for hopping on a Zoom and talking to me.
I'm super excited to be here.
I was in such a rut, you know what I mean? COVID and quarantine.
I kind of feel like if we can make it past 2020, we can do anything.
Yeah, we can go on Mars. Like if we can make it past 2020, Mars is like nothing. Your project, watching them and just experiencing how you see the world and the lens that you take is just something that is so inspiring. So when I was thinking of people that I wanted to talk to, I was like, I have to talk to Jordan. Give me a little bit of what is Jordan Shanks?
Writer, filmmaker, photographer, originally from Richmond, Virginia, outside of the now former capital of the Confederacy. I ended up going to school at Howard University, studied TV and film production there. So I was a first generation college graduate, come from a large Afro-Latino family.
How in the world did you know that like I want to be a filmmaker or I want to be a creative?
I think I was like 12 years old. I found my first manual film photo camera in actually the attic of my childhood home and photographed the sunset every day to start testing light. In college at Howard, when I actually came in as a political science major.
Yeah, I was a poli-sci major at UCLA. Nigerian parents, you know, there's only 3 categories of career: lawyer, doctor, or engineer. So I was supposed to be the lawyer in the family. I told my mom, I was like, I don't want to do poli-sci anymore. I don't want to do political science. I want to try out for the theater arts program. She legit laughed in my face. She was like, no, literally, I'm so happy that you changed it. You got into Howard, congratulations, and then you started with political science. When did you decide, like, okay, I'm cutting the bullshit, I'm actually gonna follow what I'm intended to do, which is filmmaking?
My junior year, something clicked. It just made sense. Like, I need to switch my major to film. So I started compiling footage from my iPhone that I had been taking with my friends. That was the beginning of my first film, Seven, capturing, you know, my experience at an HBCU as a first-generation college student. This beautiful, euphoric experience we had during the Obama administration, capturing that beauty that was on that campus.
When you made your film Seven, tell us about your creative process and like how you approach your creative plans.
It was my first time doing a film, and so it was my first time understanding format as well. I think Seven sort of was an exercise in process for me.
What drives you to create? Are you trying to expand the narrative? Because let's be honest, the entertainment field is very white. What would your driving force be to like tell the stories of the past or tell the stories of the future or just change the narrative?
I think there's different categories of my creative process. The documentary side, which I use film as a window into my experience and a window into the world and what's happening. But there's also a comedy and drama TV side of my work. I studied television comedy, screenwriting at USC. That was just a great opportunity to learn a whole different medium of storytelling. For me, what inspires me overall are real life events that happened in my life. My life sometimes feels like a comedy, other times feels like a drama.
Oftentimes, like, they say, like, oh, documentaries, that's a serious thing. But, like, we can have multitudes in terms of where we express our rebellion. We can be entertaining, but also still, you know, push the needle forward.
You know, comedy and drama, live action to cartoons, etc. I just did a Sundance screenwriting workshop. I've been working on it for a while. I've been developing it.
Give us a little hint.
Come on. A hint. It's elevated. It's elevated.
Elevated's your hint, Jordan.
I think projects are there's energy around them. I think that energy has to be protected.
Yeah.
They're like your baby. They're your babies.
People, when they show their newborns right away, it's like, sis, let the child bake. Let the child bake a little bit before you show the world how your baby looks, because newborns aren't pretty. I'm just so excited for you. I'm like, oh, I'm so lucky that I have Jordan. Let's just even talk about your name, Jordan Shanks. Like, it's just like, your name is for stardom. You know that, right?
I actually, like, it's funny because I actually, like, at a certain point, my full name is Jordan Adam Shanks. And so at a certain point, I actually wanted to go by Adam.
No! What?
People in like middle school or high school were like, come into class one day and be like, my name is John Sales, but I go by like Alexander. I wanted to like reimagine my name too.
You should have not went by Adam. Sorry to all the Adams out there, but that is kind of the most Wonder Bread name ever. You're talking about you wanted a different name. Hello, Dolapo Sengokoya. Get this, my middle name is Abiola, which is also Nigerian, but I was like, you know, maybe I should go by Abiola, and then my nickname can be Abby. Like, what's up, Abby? So, like, I would always dream myself as an Abby. So give us the lowdown on what is hot in culture right now. What are you consuming?
I read a lot of op-eds in the Atlantic.
Really? Okay.
I've watched Watchmen like 3 times in a row. Regina King's an amazing actress. And I also just watched Little Fires Everywhere. Aside from that, I read a lot of scripts. I read La La Land before I saw it, and the same with Moonlight.
But we have a mutual friend who says he didn't like Moonlight, and I'm like, you've got to be shitting me.
That's wild.
I cannot. No, that's wild. That person knows who they are. You literally, I don't understand you.
Everyone has different tastes, and some people like McDonald's, some people like Panera.
Yup, some people like Taco Bell versus, we have different tastes. We have different palates. So we'll just leave it at there. I really think that the entertainment industry, I do think they have a role in changing the conversation and dismantling anti-Blackness. What would you say that role is, and what do you think is so important that the industry needs to fulfill to immediately do right now in terms of anti-racism efforts?
I think one of the things that Hollywood can improve upon is diversity inclusion and talent pipelines.
And we can say all we want, all the white actors and all the white directors and all the other white passing POCs, they can make all the black and white videos they want about the injustices of our world. But until they actually dismantle the just inherent anti-Blackness that actually runs in the entertainment industry, we're not going to see any change. That's just starting by hiring Black writers to tell the narratives that, we know. We live in a multitude of narratives. Like, we don't have one story. You can't just hire, this token Black person. Like, we rely only on this talented 10th of people, but we need to hire just a sheer mass of more Black writers, more Black directors, cinematographers too as well. Black people just look different. We don't photograph or film the same way as a white person. So having enough cinematographers who understand how to film Black skin, not even replacing, but adding Black bodies into the equation. There's no longer, we shouldn't only be able to name 5 Black directors. Like, that's the problem. Let me rest my case. I'm literally I get all heated up about that, but it kind of goes into my next question. Like, who in the industry right now who does have a platform, who does have a threshold, are they using it right?
Issa Rae, Donald Glover, Tyler Perry is doing a great job. There's a woman named Janine Sherman Barwa, who's executive producer and showrunner of Claws, who's great. One of my personal big influences right now is Jen Nikiru. She's a Nigerian British filmmaker who does these
Naija
comments on different aspects of the Black experience in ways that I personally have never seen. She's carving in her own right a whole new lane for herself. That's something that I aim to do for myself, is to be kind of in my own lane.
I actually have to look that girl up. So thank you for putting me on game, because I am in love with Issa. She was just doing low budget YouTube videos and Awkward Black Girls, like literally my college experience. She worked her ass off, but it's the way she did it. She just did it by doing her. She didn't subject to any of, society's, what things were happening or what people were doing during those times. She really just stuck to what she knew and what she loved. And she finally got the recognition that she deserved. And she is popping. Anyone who's risen to the top is just honestly an icon. I want to really talk about your upcoming project.
One of them is Family Portrait, which is a documentary following my journey to retrace my family roots. Never Again is a mini doc that is chronicling what's happening around the country surrounding the uprisings.
I watched what was that, the intro teaser for Never Again?
Yeah.
Chills, honestly, chills down my spine. It was just so good. It's awesome the way you're able to put together some of just those integral real moments that are happening now, but really convey a feeling in there and a message too. So kudos to you. I guess closing thoughts are just kind of give me something that is your mantra in life.
Putting good energy out into the universe brings good energy back to you. It's finding that balance when it's time to take time to be inspired, when it's time to take time with family, with friends, when it's time to sit down and work. That's something that I live by, but also just telling the truth. People have heard every lie in the book. People want authenticity. One
thing I did want to ask you too is what's one piece of advice that you would have given your younger self?
Why are you so good at this? Damn. I'm dead. You're doing your
I'm probably even gonna cut to this anyway, so. Or it doesn't even have to be yourself, just somebody, I know you're an up and coming filmmaker too, but somebody who's just right below you.
Try everything. Get as much life experience as you can. Say yes more. Everything you're doing, you should be filming, except for taking a shit. But if you're taking a shit, maybe write.
Yeah.
In the meantime.
Okay. I just want to say thank you guys so much for tuning in. I hope you guys subscribe to future videos here. Hit that subscribe button. Hit it, hit it. And that's the lowdown. Hit it, hit it, hit it, hit it. Subscribe. I want you to follow this journey.